What's up, my fellow comic book readers? Happy new comic book day. Guys, I got more comic books than I needed, per the usual. I even talked to my LCS today about switching over from freaking singles to omnis and collector's editions, because Jesus Christ. Alright, and as usual, before we get into it, Memory Lane Comics on Princess Street in Wilmington, North Carolina. Y'all are the freaking goats, man. I love that shop. And then we got Comic Shop News 2020. I think we all know what happened in 2020. Another shout out to Memory Lane. They hooked me up with these for free. Comics, the magazine. I didn't read the second one. I read the first one. The first one was cool. Had a lot of good information. I still have the second one. And then Dungeon Crawler Carl's free comic book day comics on the back. I still got to read that, but I'm so excited. And then in no particular order, let's start talking about comics. We got Lady Mechanica. I just love the steampunk cover. I literally just got it from the cover, and I was like, whatever's going to be in it is going to be in it. And I'm looking forward to reading this without any information. But we got Star Wars, Rogue One, Cassian Andor. I loved Rogue One. And I'm trying to get into getting Marvel, Star Wars again. And this is just another one on that route. We got another Sleepy Hollow, The Witches of the Western Woods. I was told this is supposed to have a little bit more of the Headless Horseman in it, so I'm excited to continue this story. And before we go into the next one, guys, I'm trying to test something. So if you've made it this far into my video, I really appreciate you. If you could leave me a 1 in the comments, just to let me know you made it here. Even if you don't put anything else in the comment, but just leave a 1. I'm trying to just test and see what how much of my videos people are actually watching for New Comic Book Day haul. Because I don't know if I'm going to continue doing these. Because I've heard a lot of statistics about people not actually watching the haul and that it's just a dying trend. And I just want to make sure I'm doing this for the right reasons. Next up, we got Daredevil, Stephanie Phillips, issue number 2. I still haven't read the first one, but it's a Stephanie Phillips comic. You know it's going to be absolutely freaking peak. And then along with Stephanie Phillips, Spider-Gwen, Ghost Spider. I'm a couple issues behind on this. I think I have to read. No, I think I did read 9. But this story has been fantastic. The last 15 issue run she did was fantastic, except for the last 2. I didn't really care for 14 and 15, but it kind of set up for this run. And so far, all 10 issues, or at least 8 or 9 issues that I've read, have been absolutely freaking fantastic. And it's really making me consider Stephanie Phillips when I start talking about my favorite comic book authors. Next up, we got Godzilla, issue number 10. Guys, Godzilla, IDW, Kaiser era, you know what I'm going to say. It is the absolute peak of Godzilla content. If you're not reading it, I definitely recommend it because there's not a whole lot better from any publisher, really. Next up, we got Batman, issue number 9 by Matt Fraction. It's my first time starting at number 1 for a Batman series, and it has not let me down. Not a single issue has let me down. This has been just absolutely fantastic. It's got Batman in his blue suit, so if you're a fan of that suit, I definitely recommend it. If you're just a fan of a good Batman story, it's peak. Next up, we got Moon Knight, Mark Spector. This has been such a fun read. It's such a contrast to the Fist of Khonshu, which is the last run. Plus, it's got my favorite artist in here. One of my favorite artists. I won't say, I really like Dev Promnik, but I don't know if I can officially say he's my favorite artist. But he's definitely in top 5 competition. I feel like that was kind of negative on Dev Promnik, me saying I like him, but I don't. I meant no disrespect, Dev. If you watch this video, I meant no disrespect. But yeah, Mark Spector, Moon Knight. This run, fantastic, just like the Fist of Khonshu was. Again, 2 very different types of stories, but this is fantastic regardless. Batman Beyond and Static, issue number 6. I got to read like 3, 4, 5, and 6 of this. It is my first time reading a Static series, and my first time reading a Batman Beyond series. But I enjoyed the first 2 issues enough for me to continue picking this up without reading 3, 4, 5, and 6. Next up, we got Fantastic Four, Peter North. This is number 10. I read the end of the last Fantastic Four run and then jumped into this one. The first couple of issues were okay to me, but it's really been picking up, and I've really enjoyed where Fantastic Four is at right now. Next up, one of my first time reading an X-Men comic, Cyclops. This is issue number 4. I didn't realize how badass Cyclops was until I started reading these, and it's really made me consider jumping into my X-Men adventures, because I eventually want to read them. I just haven't got around to them yet. Next up, probably my favorite ongoing Marvel series right now, Wade Wilson's Deadpool. This is exactly how I picture, when I picture Deadpool in my head, this is the most accurate Deadpool comic I've read so far, to me, and like in my depiction of Deadpool. He just doesn't care. He's willing to like get blasted in the face to prove a point. Just no fucks given about what happens to him. And he's joking and laughing and even likes the pain at points. He's like a fucking sadomasochist, right? But I am absolutely loving this series so far. Wade Wilson's Deadpool. If you haven't started reading it yet and you're a Deadpool fan, I'm telling you, you're sleeping on a gold mine. Next up, we got Royals, another series that I haven't read the first issue, but I figured I'd pick up number 2. I don't know how I feel about the art inside, but I've heard good things about it, so I'm looking forward to it. We got Speed Racer issue number 8. This 1 through 7 was freaking fantastic so far. I can't wait to read issue number 8 and catch up with what Speed Racer is doing. Again, I am up to date. I just haven't read this one. But I'm so interested to see what's going to happen with Speed Racer and Racer X teaming up to try to save Pop's Racer. And this has just been fantastic. Again, nostalgic, but even if you're not a nostalgic Speed Racer fan, I think you'd really enjoy that. Next up, probably one of my favorite runs that I'm reading, like any publisher, Absolute Superman, issue number 19. Jason Aaron is my writer that can do no wrong. I am a super fan when it comes to Jason Aaron. I love everything that I've read of his. Like, literally not a single page has made me question my fandom for Jason Aaron. And I definitely recommend everything Absolute, honestly, except I can't really honestly recommend to anybody Absolute Green Lantern unless you are a Green Lantern fan. And I've heard people say they really love it. This is just my personal preference, so I'm not going to say it's bad, poor written. The art inside it is great. I really like the art inside of it. I just don't know how I feel about the story and the continuity of it. Again, I haven't read a whole lot of Green Lantern outside of Absolute Green Lantern, so I don't get a whole lot of like the references, because Absolute Universe is all about like bringing a character in and making it like not in line with how they are in a normal DC universe. So like the other 5 series has been fantastic in that, but Absolute Green Lantern, I'm just not getting as a person that's not yet a Green Lantern fan. I did get, here, we'll find it. I did get a Green Lantern. We got Tales of the Green Lantern, Guy Gardner. Tales of the Green Lantern Corps, Guy Gardner. I've been meaning to get into Green Lantern. I really want to go back. I want to read more Green Lantern and then maybe go back and read these and maybe have a different perspective of them. But I picked this up today. It was the new Green Lantern that came out today, and I am excited to read this, honestly. It's a thick boy, too. I think it's maybe a 40-pager. Maybe, I don't know. It feels thicker than normal. And then next up, probably a lot of people's most anticipated comic coming out, Ben 10. Everybody I've talked to that's like under the age of like 25 has told me how excited they are for this series. And I've never watched a Ben 10 cartoon, but I am excited to read this just because I suffer from FOMO. I don't like when people are talking about stuff that I don't understand, so I'm excited to get a little bit of an understanding, or at least be in the conversation when people are talking about the Ben 10 comic book, right? Next up, we got Ghost Machine, the official guidebook, issue number 2. I thought this was a one-take, just like a regular Ghost Machine, like introduction to the characters. But we're getting more characters now, and I am excited, and I actually need to go back and read the first Ghost Machine and maybe do like a multi-part series on it or something like that, because I have issue number 1, obviously, and now I got issue 2. So, and this is a 5-issue limited series, so if you're a Ghost Machine fan, like I've read everything Ghost Machine, or I have everything Ghost Machine, you guys know my TBR pile is an ongoing issue for me. I'm still trying to catch up. But yeah. Next up, we got Fall of the House of Slaughter. I thought it was a cool little take on Fall of the House of Usher, which is one of my favorite TV shows. And it's a miniseries on Netflix. If you haven't watched it, I can't recommend that enough. Absolutely peak content. But it's another James Tynion. I am behind on Something is Killing the Children. And I know there was a House of Slaughter series that came either, I think, before Fall, before Something is Killing the Children. So eventually I'm going to go read all those. But I got this. I'm going to read this without reading those and hope it doesn't blow my mind. If it does, maybe I save this for another one. And then last but definitely not least, this is probably my most anticipated comic of the day. And I haven't talked about it a whole lot, but I got a sticker for it, and I got the ash can for it. And I really am very interested in this. If Destruction Be Our Lot. The ash can kind of covered Abe Lincoln in a world of robots, and Abe Lincoln is actually a robot himself. And I'm very interested to see what this is even going to be about, how they're going to tie in the Abe Lincoln robot and the post-apocalypse, like robots running the world and stuff like that. I'm very, very interested in this, and I'm so excited. I'm probably going to read this tonight, if I'm being honest, even though I have a huge TBR pile, just because I'm very curious about that one. But guys, that is all I picked up today as far as new comics. I also got a coffee shop review that I'll be releasing later today too. Me and my wife went to a new coffee shop. But guys, let me know what I got today, what new comic book I got today that you also got that you're most excited to read and talk about. Because I would love to start, taking people's comments. So like, oh, I can't wait to read this. And like, maybe we do a short little stint where me and you talk about that comic or that series or something like that. I'm always looking to make new content. But guys, I hope everybody has a great freaking new comic book day. I hope you got everything or you're getting everything. Remember, just because comics come out on Wednesday, sometimes they come out on Tuesday. But if you can't get them till Saturday, Saturday is your new comic book day. Stop apologizing for getting your comics late. It's not even a problem. You know what I mean? Wednesday's not the only day to get new comics. But guys, have a great freaking Wednesday, and I'll see y'all around.